What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about inkjet transfers, laser jet transfers, or just using sublimation on cotton and print and transfers from home. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a little while, you know I don't use any inkjet transfers. You know that I don't use any laser jet transfers, and I don't sublimate on cotton. Now, the main reason I don't do any of those things is I don't like the quality of those prints. I don't like the feel of those transfers. That's something I would never offer any of my customers. Now, some people are going to be out there and like, oh man, well, you know, I seen this guy on TikTok making these transfers, putting them on shirts. He made it look easy. It looked good. The quality looks good. That's cool. If you wanted to operate that way, by all means, go for it. For myself, I personally do not operate that way. I don't offer any of those transfers to anybody. I don't use those for any of my customers. I just don't like it. Have I tested them out? Yeah, but it's not, like I said, it's not something that I would offer any of my customers. There's going to be a lot of people in my comments trying to defend them using inkjet transfers, and there's going to be a lot of people trying to convince me why it's the best option. That's cool. You don't have to try to convince me. You don't have to even justify why you use them. If that's how you operate, by all means, keep operating that way. I'm just letting you know that I don't do it, because there's people that are new to my channel. There's new viewers that are like, hey, what printer should I buy? Hey, what's the best paper to print transfers? I have no idea. And I respond to them with, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure. I don't do that kind of stuff. And is there anything wrong with it? Not really. It's just, for me, quality wise, I feel it's not something I want to offer to my customers. I use screen printed transfers. I use plastisol transfers. And then if I'm doing something multicolor, I'll use Supacolor, which is a water-based ink. So for those reasons, I'd rather let the professionals handle it, right? Because there's people even that hit me up like, hey, you're gonna get a direct-to-film printer, you're gonna be printing your own transfers from home, quality looks good, videos I've seen looks good. That's cool. If you want to operate that way, by all means, go for it. For myself, I am not gonna operate that way. I don't see myself buying direct-to-film printer. I don't see myself going that route. If you want to operate that way, by all means, go for it. If that fits your budget, if that's the quality you want to offer your customers, if that's the way you want to run your business, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. Myself, I just don't operate that way. That's it. My reasoning is I let the professionals handle it, right? People say, oh man, direct to film is just like Supacolor. I've seen Supacolor's printers. Shits are big as hell. They're bigger than this room. You know what I mean? It's a big ass printer. I let the professionals handle it, right? And I'm not saying bigger the printer, better the print. I'm saying if I needed 300 transfers done, they could turn that around tomorrow for me. Or I could choke up this little printer at home and try to get 300 transfers made, but I'd rather let the professionals do it. I don't mind paying for transfers. You know what I mean? I pay for good prints. I pay for quality. I'm paying for something that I want to offer my customers. I don't mind paying. I would hate to sacrifice quality over convenience. I say this all the time. Convenience is printing these transfers from home in your own shop, not have to go through like another company to get your transfers. You just print them right there in your shop and you're getting going. There's nothing wrong with that. But for myself, I would hate to sacrifice convenience for quality. I know what kind of quality I'm getting from Supacolor. I know what kind of quality I'm getting from Transfer Express. I know what ink formulas I like. I know what my customers like. So if I were to offer anything outside of what my customers are used to, I could potentially lose my customers, because what if the quality isn't up to their standards? At the end of the day, I'm not the one buying my own t-shirts. The customers are buying my t-shirts, so I have to play to them. I have to offer them what they're used to, because if I change something up and it's not what they're used to, potentially they will no longer shop with me. And that is where I make most of my money, is on return customers. Having loyal customers coming back to shop with me over and over again is where I make most of my money. So say out of nowhere, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy me this direct to film printer and I'm gonna be printing my own transfers, pressing them up. And then the quality is way different than what they're used to. Then they're like, hey, what the hell happened? What changed up? I don't like the feel of this print. I don't like the way this print looks. I don't like anything about this t-shirt. I'm gonna stop shopping with this company. That's what I don't want to happen. So I know the quality of a screen printed transfer. I know what I like, and I know what I like to feel on a t-shirt. So that's why I use the companies I use, because I'm familiar with it. That's exactly what I want to offer my customers. Now, people will say, oh, well, you got a sublimation printer, you could sublimate on cotton. You got to remember what sublimation is dye sublimation is dyeing the fabric. So that's why polyester, 100% polyester, perfectly fine to sublimate on, because you're dyeing the fabric. You're dyeing that polyester fabric with your image. So that's why you see a lot of these BMX jerseys, softball jerseys, paintball jerseys, stuff like that. That's all sublimation, right? The all over print stuff, it's all sublimation. Motocross jerseys, there's a lot of different ones, but they're all sublimated on them. It's a polyester jersey that's being sublimated with their designs or whatever it is. Now, when you talk about sublimating on cotton, basically what you're doing is you're taking the sublimation, you're pressing it onto another, like picture like vinyl or something. You're sublimating onto the vinyl and then you're pressing that vinyl onto the shirt. So you're not necessarily sublimating onto the fabric. It's going onto another piece of transfer that's going onto the fabric. So it's like almost like a printed vinyl, or you're sublimating onto the piece of vinyl and then that's getting sublimated onto the shirt. I mean, that's getting pressed onto the shirt. So it's not necessarily the same feel as sublimation on polyester. It's a lot different. Is technology cool? Yeah. Is that something I want to offer my customers? No. So that's why I don't do it. You got to remember, I operate a certain way. You guys could operate whatever way you want. I'm just sharing how I operate. So when there's people that ask about inkjet transfers and sublimating on cotton and laser jet transfers and all this stuff, I have no information for you because all the tests that I've done, I never liked it. So it was like, all right, I'm not going to offer this. So I can't say, yeah, you should get this printer, you should get this paper if I don't use it personally. That goes against everything that I talk about on this channel. I only talk about the way I operate my businesses. That's the information I could give you because that's the information that I use and it works for me. So if it works for me, I'm hoping it works for you. Is there anything wrong with inkjet, laser jet, sublimating on cotton and all direct to film? There's nothing wrong with all that. It's just not what I do. So if you operate with at-home printer and you're printing your own transfers, you don't have to get in my comments and be like, oh man, this is the best way, you got to try this paper, you got to use this printer, you got to do this, I'm making a bunch of money doing it this way, you don't know what you're talking about. That's fine. You should make a YouTube video about how you operate your business and let people know how you're operating your business, how those inkjet printers work, the paper you use, how you're making your sales, all that. Start a YouTube channel and talk about that stuff so you can provide that information to the people, because that's what I'm doing, providing the information that works for me to the people. You get what I'm saying? So like I said, if you operate different than what I do, there's no right or wrong answer here. If it works for you, get that money. What I do is I'm getting that money. So we're both the same. You know what I mean? So to answer this question to all the new viewers, I don't use inkjet transfers. I don't use laser jet transfers. I do not sublimate on cotton. I use plastisol transfers, screen printed transfers, and then I use water-based transfers from Supacolor. That's how I run all of my businesses. This help you out? Cool. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. If you disagree with me, I'm pretty sure you're already going to leave it in the comments. So cool. Follow me on Instagram, man. Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on next one, man. Yeah.